Have you ever felt drawn to a certain style without knowing why? All you know is that you love it. You love how it looks, and more importantly, you love how you feel in it. Well, I call that your beauty sixth sense, and I'm going to teach you some tips today on how to develop your intuition to create a great personal style. Hi, I'm Carol Tuttle. I am the creator of energy profiling and dressing your truth, and I have helped, oh my goodness, probably close to 500,000 women around the world learn the truth of who they are and how to make fashion work for them. Because raise of hand, how many of you ever felt defeated when you were in a dressing room shopping for yourself, or you brought something home, or just even going in your closet and you felt frustrated and defeated with the fact that you just didn't know how to put this all together so you not only looked great, but you feel great. You felt amazing, and it really represented the truth of who you are. And I want to tell you, dressing your truth is really based on a easy to use formula of developing your intuition, because the things that look best on you are the things you are naturally drawn to. You get an intuitive hit on it. You like it. You may not, and you haven't known why. Well, dressing your truth is the why behind that intuitive connection you have with certain looks, patterns, fit on the body. And I'm going to go through each of the 4 types and give you a few ahas about what I call your beauty sixth sense is telling you and why that works for you. Don't mind him. That's just allergies. So we've got type 1 energy that's upward light, buoyant in its movement. We call the type 1 woman the bright animated woman. Now you might say, well, I can't be a type 1 because I'm not animated or bright. Well, maybe you just had your brightness a little dampened and you need to bring it forward again. But go watch the video on misinterpreting type 1 energy if you're canceling yourself from that group, because if you're fresh and youthful and you bring a cheeriness to life, you are a type 1. Your instinct, I would say the number 1 intuitive hit you get is you like things that have kind of a sparkle or a little bit of a playful quality to them. Your number 1 intuitive hit that you've never referenced before you didn't even know it was a preference, but you instinctually would follow through on a certain action because of this instinct and intuitive hit. And that was because you have a light upward energy, you need things light on the body. And think of how many pieces of jewelry you have purchased that you then do not wear, or you take off within an hour or 2 after putting it on because it's too heavy. You didn't even know why you didn't like wearing it. I give you the why. The why is your energy's light. You need to have things light on the body. You wouldn't wear this necklace. It's too bulky and heavy. So we here at Live Your Truth, every type 1 piece of jewelry goes through our is it light enough test. And a lot of pieces that have all the other qualities of a type 1 piece of jewelry, they get canceled out for the fact they're too heavy. We'll say to each other, it's too heavy, they won't wear it, they won't like it. So our style guides really give you, how many, if you're type 1, notice on our pattern guide, before you knew you were type 1, which of these would you have instinctually, intuitively been drawn to as a pattern? That you would think, I really like that. But you talked yourself out of it because you thought it was too silly, too cute, or too youthful. Well, you can look classy and cute at the same time. I have a lot of members in my Dressing Your Truth lifestyle community that know how to put great type 1 styles together using these patterns. And they look classy, mature, and women that have great confidence. And that's what you want. So where are you canceling out your intuition by these judgments that you picked up along the way? Because that's when we stop listening to it. Somebody said to you, you should never wear that color. Well, maybe it was not your type version of that color. And I even had one day someone say to me, well, I was told I shouldn't ever wear bangs. I said, well, who told you that? Who said that to you? It was a 2-year-old. I'm not kidding. It was like a friend's 2-year-old that said, I don't like your bangs. I'm like, well, certainly don't use them as your style coach. Like, what do they know? And You might ask your husband. I'd only ask him if he knows the system. I'm inclined to not ask my husband. I feel very confident in my style, and I actually wouldn't. I just don't. He'll ask me, but type 2s have a tendency to want to be reassured more than a type 3. All right, moving to type 2, we move into that soft, subtle energy, what we call we have on our style guides all these key words. So we'll look right at type 2. It is the soft, subtle woman. It is the woman that has a gentle nature, and she's going to look best in more tones, and her colors are a little more muted and softened. You can learn all of this at dressingyourtruth.com/free offer. That's my free course. And they're going to be drawn to how does it feel, the fabrication of it, does it feel comfortable? My daughter says she always does the stretch test. She's got to be able to move. She prefers jeans that has movement and give in them. And how many things have you purchased that you went against your intuition and they don't have comfort, they're not comfortable on your body, they're either rough, they're too constrictive, and you won't wear them because you weren't following your intuition, because your intuition was saying, notice how this feels. And you talked yourself into a trend or a style that was popular. Maybe a stiff, denim jacket. It's not you. It's too stiff. It's too heavy. Now, looking at the patterns, think back in your life, and how many of these patterns would you have instinctually been drawn to and thought, oh, I really love that. I love the blended quality and the detail and the elegance of it. And you talked yourself out of it because you weren't honoring your intuition. Well, all we're doing in Dressing Your Truth land is getting that beauty sixth sense operative again and really honing in on what's correct for you, down to first we teach you how to dress true to your type, then we teach you how to personalize your type. So it's you. Now, type 3 is that active reactive energy, rich, dynamic. We call that the rich and dynamic woman. And there's a quality of edginess and a quality of substance and chunkiness to it. And so as a type 3, you're going to intuitively be drawn to layering things and more substance in your accessories and rich colors, and even doing more layers in cuffs and having a quality of texture to things. And you were drawn to that, and you may have been dressing your truth and really following your beauty sixth sense when you were younger because you felt it was kind of cool to be trendy then, and it was acceptable. But then you hit your 50s and 60s and said, oh, I can't do that. It's too edgy, because you listened to the fashion system that said grandmas need to mute themselves down, and bring it down, ladies. And you've heard me say this, grandma's a role, not a style. So I love the fact that I'm 62 and I am your poster girl type 3 that says, bring it on. The more the better. Not in every case, but got a lot of chunkiness going on here. And I don't look like I'm overdoing it. I don't feel like I'm overdoing it. Now, which of these patterns would you, there's that one in the middle, typically, not every type 3 loves leopard print, but I can tell you, I remember going all the way back even to when I was 8 years old. I loved leopard print. I loved it. I had items in it. They were my favorite things. That's my intuition saying, this is true to your type. So have you canceled this out because you think you have to soften yourself? Got to mute it down because you've been told you're too much, you're too loud? I see that a lot as well. Your beauty sixth sense is spot on every time. It knows what looks best on you. Let yourself go there. Now, in the world of type 4, we look at the movement. It's more concise, structured, linear. It has a quality of being high contrast, more, you get the style. The colors are very bold. They're pure hues. I teach all about the color at the free course. This is the bold and striking woman. And she looks stunning when she's dressing her truth. Now, she's countered her intuitive hits on what she's drawn to based on fear of standing out and being seen to be so bold. Because the kind of the dichotomy in the type 4 world is type 4s don't want to be seen or noticed. They'd rather go around sort of just quiet, just let me do my thing. I don't want all eyes on me. Yet the awesome thing is that they're seen for who they are, a woman of authority and a woman who knows who she is. And so you may have countered your intuitive sense of, well, I like that, and I love black and white. And maybe you were told, you thought, well, I've got to get into more colors, and you just didn't pick the correct color. So, or you softened yourself once again, and you've got a lot of gray in your closet. I see that. Type 4s that have loaded up their closets with gray to counter this kind of fear of being noticed or being too bold. And that maybe they've outgrown that. I've heard from more type 4s, I used to dress my truth when I was younger. And then they countered it and got away from their intuitive guidance, their beauty sixth sense, and started altering it, only to come back home to it. Now, looking at the pattern guide as a type 4, which of these patterns have you been intuitively drawn to, even from your childhood, that you're like, I really like that? Which of these have you loved that you've talked yourself out of only to come back to it because you're learning DYT? I'm so happy for you. Good for you. So go to the free course, dressingyourtruth.com/free offer. We get into all the specifics about color, pattern, the 5 elements of dressing your truth, so you can really develop your intuition, your beauty sixth sense, to create an amazing personal style. Help us get to 50,000. Thanks for subscribing. I'm Carol Tuttle, and I am the creator of Dressing Your Truth. And thanks for sharing a comment. I love your comments. I read them all, and we might share your comment in a future video. Thanks, everyone.
We didn't have